Good afternoon, everyone. I want to speak today about holiday cheer. This time of year is some of the most difficult for people who are experiencing family division, hardships, and strains on relationships. It's common knowledge anymore about the depression rates that spike during the holidays, and a lot of advocacy has begun, thankfully, about reaching out to people who might be alone, reaching out to people during the holidays to check on our loved ones. And what's often overlooked is ourself, checking on ourself, being able to encourage ourselves through the difficult expectations that we are met with during the holidays and during important times that society celebrates as a large population. When families are divided because of court battles, when separations happen, when parental alienation is a part of a family and trauma that they are healing through, what we forget is we have to encourage ourselves. We have to be kind to ourselves. And we have to stand on our ethical principles with self encouragement and with pride in knowing that when you stand up, when you speak the truth, when you are authentic, good will come. It may not happen when you want. It may have years of hardship. You may feel like your life has been ripped into shreds to the point that you don't know if you can survive emotionally. And this is when we have to encourage ourselves. Holiday cheer is what we all want. We all want to have our family and our loved ones close and just embrace the holiday and the Christmas spirit. Unfortunately, we can't always do that with the people that we want closest to us. And during that time, we have to dig down deep, and we have to give ourselves credit for the principles, for the truth, for the honesty. And meditating has been a wonderful form of my own self encouragement, my own self motivation to help me during some of the most difficult times. I used to meditate as a child. I I don't even know where I learned to meditate. Just take quiet time to myself, doing deep breathing. I don't know how that developed in my life. But what I do know is that it has grounded my emotional strains during some of the most difficult times when I was struggling to have holiday cheer, when I was looking at a Christmas list and realizing that I only had a couple people on my list, and realizing that wasn't my whole family, not DNA wise, not even not even friends who had become family. It wasn't a commonality that I had experienced, but some of the most difficult times after my daughter's court custody battle I experienced, and it was an alienation time period that I went through. Part of it was self inflicted. I needed to retreat emotionally, and I needed to heal because I missed my daughter. I missed our life. I missed the years of happiness and togetherness that we all had. So the holidays became some of the most difficult. And I had to motivate myself. I had to give myself credit for being the person that I know in my heart and in my soul that I am, that I am the mother that I needed when I was a child. And that is a huge motivation that I have had throughout my life was I grew up without my mom. I grew up in an unconventional life where my father was a union iron worker and he traveled all around the nation, and I was taken all around the nation with him. And it was a life of learning. It was a life of experience that created the strength and the wisdoms that I have and a lot of the insights that I have today. But it is a life I would never wish upon my own children. And that is because of the difficulty of not having more community, more family, more support, more love. As a priority in my life, providing that love and stability for my children has always been top. That has always been what motivated me to give and do the right thing. It is what motivated me not to stay with my daughter's father because good, right, honest living was what I wanted in my life. I wanted that for my children. So the holidays, I still reflect. The other day, I looked at pictures on my phone of the last Christmas I had with my two oldest children. And I teared up. It was heart wrenching to realize that it was that many years ago that we were together under a big, beautiful Christmas tree. Presents all around and laughter, happiness. Their cute little matching pajamas that I used to always put them in during the Christmas holidays. And I cherish those memories. But I also cherish the authenticity of my life and of my home. Taking the high road and doing what is right can often lead you into a phase of alienation, of sadness. Those are the times that we must self motivate and self encourage so that we can enjoy the holiday cheer. And I know it can seem like that is easier said than done. But I met a mother the other day in my local community who is going through the same situation with court battles with her child that I have gone through with my daughter. And she shared that it was so long that she was not able to see her child. And I know the mother and I know the father both. And I adore them. I adore both of them. I also know how when the court system gets involved, we give our powers to people who don't know our home. Sometimes that is what we have to do because we can't agree. And unfortunately, when that happens, we lose the power to cooperate. And I watched this mother cry. She had drove to the area to see her child, and she cried because it wasn't followed through with plan. And I told her what I told myself over all the years, over 10 years of being away from my daughter and being kept away from my daughter. Look toward the rest of your children's lives. You have to look at their future and you being there for them. It isn't about the moment. It isn't about the hurt of the past. You can't focus on the anger that you have toward the other parent, toward the other people in the situation, toward the judicial system. You have to look at the future. I told her what I told myself. I told myself no matter what time period I was kept away from my daughter, I would be there when she was a grown woman. I would be there when she had children. I would be there for my grandchildren, and I will be there for the rest of her life that I was present upon this earth. I devoted my focus toward a future of presence beyond the time period of her youth, of an unknown time period, which is hard to do. It's psychologically, it's very hard to motivate yourself to a time period when you have so much hurt in front of you at the moment. But that is the motivation that has to be focused on in order to be there for your children in the future. We cried. I teared up. I know the heartache and I know the pain that she's going through. And my heart breaks because she spoke about her other children, her other child, not losing the relationship that they had. And I know that. My 20-year-old and my 17-year-old do not talk beyond a group chat that I try to keep moving for them with me. As a narrator, I often am the only one who is sending them pictures or making statements, even though my son and I talk all the time and we text all the time. My 20-year-old and I have a wonderful, strong relationship, and I'm so proud of him. But when she spoke about the division of her children now and how that hurt her, I understood. And in order to get through the moments of hurt and the past hurt, you have to focus on what is the lives of your children going to be like if you don't pull yourself out of the emotional hurt and challenges of the moment. It is easier said than done, and it is difficult. And deep breathing and meditation and focus in your mind on the life that you want when they are an adult and when they need you for their children. That was a part that I told myself I would never lose sight of and I would be there for. I want to be the grandmother one day who has big family holidays and I have children and grandchildren and great grandchildren all gather at my home for the holidays. That is my motivation. That is my self encouragement because the authenticity of me, my ethics, my principles, and my motivations will make that possible as long as I don't let the current hurt destroy who I am. We will all struggle, whether it be with losing our loved ones from natural death, from unexpected death. But we must encourage ourselves and give ourselves credit and be kind. There is no superhuman on earth. There is no super power that you can give yourself to take away the hurt that is affecting your current holiday cheer. But what we can do is be kind to ourselves. Cry, hurt, Feel the emotions that that are wrenching deep down, and don't bottle them up. But also look in front of you, and whether it be that you are walking into a store and buying groceries, or whether it be that you are buying limited groceries. Um, it's hard economically right now and financially for a lot of people. I spoke to my friend about the limits financially that my own household is under, and about Christmas makes that a little bit more difficult. But her and I also spoke about being thankful and grateful, because it was a moment. This is a moment. No matter what, there is always a situation lower and worse and more hurtful than what we're experiencing. And that is something that we must self motivate and we must self encourage ourselves through so that we can get our holiday cheer. My sweatshirt, I don't know if you guys can see it. It says, "The jolliest bunch of assholes this side of the nut house." Um, I love that. I love that phrase. I love that statement. I keep a hanger on my one door all year long. And the reason being is there is a lot of truth in that statement. Sometimes the kindest thing we can do is be kind to ourselves, because our self love and our self cheer is going to project to everyone around us. No matter how small our holiday might be, no matter how large, or no matter the financial strains that we might be under, we still have to realize there are lower levels that people are experiencing below what we have. There are families that are not safe. And no matter what, we have to be grateful um, in order to have that holiday cheer. There is a lot of lessons that we all go through, and learning from them and talking about it and encouraging other people will help the future generations to move forward, to move past the hurt and the pain that you, me, that our parents, that our past generations have experienced. And that way we can all have a little better holiday cheer in the future. So, for the people that are struggling for holiday cheer, I get it. I get it. I've struggled from buying for two people for Christmas to having so many people on a list. All I could do is buy them a bag of popcorn, or a can. A can. Remember the can of popcorns that you could get at Walmart, the holiday cans? They were like $5. I remember I bought that for nephew and nieces because it was $5 was all I could afford. And then there's years that all I could do was just give them a hug and tell them I love them. But knowing that they love me, I hope helps them. And I hope it helps give them holiday cheer like it does me. So, self motivation, self love, getting that holiday cheer is difficult for everyone. But our expectations need to be kind to ourselves, our life, our situation, and our history. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. I have my two youngest that are relaxing on this Saturday morning. I'm going to drink my coffee and enjoy the beautiful weather that I have. The sun is shining. I don't have feet of snow yet, which has me a little sad. I live in the Northwest. I kind of thought I'd have like 2 feet of snow by now, but I don't have any. I have beautiful green grass. So, getting holiday cheer, self love, self encouragement. Best of wishes to everyone for the weekend, and good luck on getting holiday.